back to our most important part of our channel here, and that's talking about Helene, the disaster, every last angle of it, the experiences of people, the visuals, how it changes over time, dispelling rumors, also proving rumors, whatever it is. And Old Fort is important for us to keep on top of, not just because it's close to us, but Danielle's parents live there. We were evacuated, long story short. That's a story in and of itself and a very interesting one. But we ended up on the other side of Marion. Luckily, she has relatives here. And so for, what was it?
3 days.
Yeah, for over 2 days, almost 3 days, we didn't know whether or not we had a house anymore.
Yeah, we couldn't get anywhere near it.
Yeah, and what we did find out, how long into it, about your parents?
Next morning, Friday, was when we finally lost power at like 7 a.m. was the last time I communicated with my mom. She had said that there were lots of trees going down, and it was getting really scary, and their power was flashing.
Mm.
And then that was the last I heard of her, because our power went down. Everyone's power everywhere that was it. Toast.
Yeah.
And let's see. So the rest of that day, I didn't hear anything from them for like 24 hours. I guess somehow they had gotten like a message out to my sister or something, or to my aunt my aunt in Clemens, which is like a 2-hour drive from where we are. They got a hold of them or whatever, and had thought that they could maybe come up here and get to them somehow to check on them.
Yeah, they didn't understand the extent of it either.
Yeah, I mean, they got up here and, quickly saw that the roads were completely closed. There was no way that you could get in or out to get to them in Old Fort at all. The next morning, my cousins went up there to go and try to check on them, and they got them unstuck after the whole day. They were there for the whole day. So it was over 24 hours that they were trapped without being able to communicate with anybody.
Yeah. Didn't work
Chainsaw
or something,
broke, and they had to go all kinds of places to get help, and to chainsaw the trees out of the driveway so that they could even get up into the driveway. My dad had walked down, and they saw him walking on the road.
Yeah. So I mean, like, where her parents live is, I guess your dad calls it a bluff. It's probably
it's like a half the side of a mountain.
Right. So you gotta go a pretty high pitch to get up the driveway. And long story short, Old Fort, when people hear it now, the ones who do know about it, they picture the part that's right off the freeway where all the cool stuff downtown was, because for a little tiny town, it was starting to get some culture.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, and all that stuff got wiped out, essentially. So that's what people know it for. But places like where her parents are at is like, I don't know, 10 minutes from downtown Old Fort, twisting and turning roads to get to it.
It takes forever to get there.
Yeah, and giant trees everywhere. So the trees that she's talking about that were in the way of people getting up that driveway, and of course that driveway, everything's going to be loose and it's going to be mud.
Yeah, they have a river that's, right at the bottom of their driveway anyway that runs through there.
And it's a lot of people there, the same type of situation. So I'm talking like a straight up rural community. And that's one of the important things with all this. People think about the rivers swelling and overflowing and things like that, but it's more the landslides, the mudslides that are the most dangerous, that take lives and stuff like that, and giant trees falling and whatnot. So of course the rivers overflow in the way that you've seen them in videos.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Obviously terrifying. But in a lot of these places, it's like, the downtown area gets hit like that. But the rest of the place is going to be
the mountain is just falling down.
Yeah.
The mud is just
and taking homes on its way down. I mean, you can look at mountains here, and you're looking at God knows how much actual, square acreage and everything you're looking at on a giant mountain from a distance, and you can see roofs kind of hidden
Yeah, between the trees. Like,
Yeah,
if you really look, you can
scattered
see houses
about.
that are way up there.
And, maybe they have a road, a holler that goes to their house that only goes to their
Yeah,
house.
you're mostly private roads.
And many of them you cannot see from overhead.
No, they're very closed in with all the trees.
Right. So, I mean, there's a lot of people who are kind of purposely
Yeah.
off
I
grid.
mean, you get a place like that. I mean, you get it for a reason. You want to be in that type of
Right.
location. Like, you don't just get that because the house came up for sale there. you know?
Right.
Like, you want that.
And
So.
you're totally hidden. So, what I'm getting at is that some of the people that you're going to find eventually that weren't rescued or even, necessarily reported missing, it's because they were kind of purposely hard to find. Maybe they're either estranged from their family or they didn't really have any family.
Yeah, they just like to live on their own,
And their house is impossible to find.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of them. I've seen it myself where, you get an address for somebody and, you can't really Google map it. It almost gives you like a general vicinity.
Takes you to a certain area. It's even the place that I worked at prior to this was like that too. I mean, they're pretty much in Old Fort, but it's still considered Marion where they are. And they live on the side of a literal mountain. Like, it is a mountain to get up there on French Mountain Drive. And, yeah, I mean, it maps you to like a certain space. And I mean, I can't tell you how many times I passed it before I finally realized, oh, you have to go here, and then here, and then here, and then here, and then here.
Yeah, and during all this,
So.
that would have been covered with trees to the point where the landscape completely changes and you don't see
they definitely got some stuff up there.
Supposed driveway. So. But see, what we did is, we went out there very briefly on the 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So the 27th we got evacuated, which is a Thursday. The 28th on the Friday is when everything got hit really, really hard. So Tuesday, the 1st, we were out a bit. So you'll see a little bit of that here where we just kind of went to the area that was right off the freeway because it's somewhere we were going.
That was the first time we actually got to see the damage to their property, like in person, and see their cars completely smashed in. And
stuff. They had one car completely destroyed,
totally
a hole put in the roof, and then a vehicle damaged, but
very
drivable.
Significantly, it was. It's still drivable though. So.
And then downtown Old Fort, maybe people that are watching this have seen, hopefully we get a further reach than that, but have seen the, I hate to call them popular, but there's certain images from Old Fort, ones where all those trailers are piled on top of each other, and
Hillman's, everything next to Hillman's. Those are the main images you see.
That downtown area is just completely annihilated. The businesses flooded out and everything. So we saw the gas station that was washed out. We smelled whatever we smelled there. You guys got to realize, sewage pipes are getting busted open and stuff like that.
Yeah, everything you can imagine.
Gasoline, radiator fluid. There's propane tanks in Old Fort that were open and flying down the river and everything. Mm-hmm. So it's just a lot of nasty stuff. So then we came back on the 6th. We were going there to assess the damage a little bit better in the downtown area, and we had some stuff to give out. Well, we went towards Bat Cave.
Yeah.
You couldn't go to Bat Cave. And what's interesting is people have heard now about the National Guard or FEMA or whatever went there to help people that were hit possibly the hardest out of all of it in Bat Cave. And there's one road leading you there from Old Fort, and there was a sign, and we saw this, that was, do not enter. It's marked off, which most of that, when you see it here right now, is more like local through traffic only. Yeah. You can't say you can't drive on it completely, even if it's dangerous as hell, because people have to get to their property.
There to live there,
Yeah, so I mean, it was really screwed up, but it was somewhat drivable. I mean, and the government help that was supposed to be going there turned around because of the do not enter sign.
Yeah.
That story actually did get some traction and people heard about it. But I don't know, I thought it was interesting we saw that. We didn't go in a Bat Cave, but we went all through the area there of Old Fort, where near there, and we saw the power lines down. The guys are out working on it, busting their ass in the power lines.
Yeah.
I mean, there's cars buried under feet of mud.
Yeah, completely flipped over and submerged, it's just...
Homes and trailers
horrible.
completely wiped out. There was a lot of them we didn't film because we don't want to be, like, disrespectful about it.
Yeah.
Nobody, even in the more populated area that you're going to see in the video, even though it's a rural area, nobody had power.
No.
And they didn't have power for a long time. Yeah,
my parents still didn't have power yet by then either.
I think it took like a week and a half for them to get power.
It was over 2 weeks that they didn't have power.
Yeah, and nobody showed up to anywhere in the area here for a week.
Yeah.
And when they did pop up in like Old Fort or whatever, you'll hear in the interview we're going to post with a man downtown there in Old Fort. I believe it was 10 days in that you actually probably talked to a human being from FEMA, or you saw the National Guard and stuff like that. It was like complete cluelessness, where it was like they're being told to go to places that everybody across the nation has heard of, where it's like, you have the Army Corps of Engineers and stuff, on speed dial or standing right next to you, and you can look at the river system and stuff like that and say, oh, hey, wait a minute, this little town here probably got hit really hard. Let's go there. But it's like, nah, let's go to Asheville and let's set up in a parking lot that nobody can see. But anyways, we saw all the power lines down. Nobody had any power. Obviously, nobody had any internet.
Yeah, no water for most of these people either because they're all on wells. So
right.
Power, there's no well.
Yeah, you can't power the well. But then again, also, if you're on city water anywhere, the pipes are destroyed. Yeah. So you didn't have that either. No. So, yeah, there's no water and everything. So, like that Davis store in the middle of town, mm-hmm. the historic place there, that's been kind of like the central...
They've been a hub right there for the community. They've been great.
And Old Fort has a giant warehouse where, like, stuff is distributed out of to help people and stuff. But we also have a story for the... second part of this, I guess. Well, no, we can say it now because I'm going to have the interview with the gentleman at the end of this. But we talked to the people that were out doing the supplies there at Hardee's. Mm-hmm. So they're right there on the main road off of the freeway.
Yeah, they were out there for a long time.
Yeah, and Hardee's corporate told them they had to go with less than a day's notice.
Yeah, like, half a day to move all the stuff out and let everybody know, like, hey, we're not going to be here anymore.
Supposedly it would make the parking lot too crowded, which is kind of ridiculous because it's taking...
They could have at least given them some notice, maybe.
Right. So that way they could let people know we'll be at this other place. Yeah. And they had a lot of stuff, a lot of really actually helpful stuff. Mm-hmm. We gave them some stuff for wherever they're going to pop up next, and now they do have a new location. I forgot where it is.
At the gas station.
We'll announce it. But we were just there on the 16th and talked to the gentleman who would be interviewed here, and I was out doing we've done water tests at our home. We ended up positive for coliform E. coli in our water.
On our well.
Yeah. The water down the road where I thought it was going to be the worst is actually okay. Yeah. That sample. I've tested for radiation everywhere we've been, except for when we were in Asheville, Arden. I didn't have the we didn't have the reader then. And so far so good on the radiation, thankfully. But while I was checking the radiation is when I met this gentleman that I had the conversation with. But I also came back, I believe, 2 days later and tested the water.
Next to Hillman's.
Yeah. And it came back positive for E. coli in Old Fort as well. And Old Fort was one of the places where we learned from talking to people who, well, it's common sense, but know their science, and were just absolutely taken aback by how much time people were spending in this silt, in this water.
Trying to dig out stuff that they were, thinking they were finding under there from their homes, or
trying
to salvage whatever they could.
Yeah, and it's just it's too unhealthy. It's understandable to try to keep your place intact, or to
Yeah, you're in complete survival mode. You're doing what the first thing that comes to your mind is. So, you see all your stuff, or you see what might be your stuff, or what, is left of the foundation of whatever you had, whether it's your home, your vehicle, your whatever it may be. You're
yeah,
going to try to dig it out. You want to get it
or
out of
even
there.
just to
If you
clean
gotta
yourself
move
a
it.
space to sleep
Yeah,
at. If your roof ain't falling in.
So, yeah,
So,
and it's making people very sick, and it can make you extremely ill.
it can make you long-term ill and stuff. So I really hope that people start staying out of that, or at least getting the personal protection.
Yeah.
I heard some people like able to get PPE in Old Fort and stuff, but I don't know. We noticed when we were there that the air was burning our eyes, and that was just on the shoot. I don't know the date, but I'll put it in here.
It
It was more recent.
ago.
Yeah, this was on the we tested our house on the 30th, so it or 28th.
Yeah.
So I think maybe it was the 30th.
Yeah, because it was right before Halloween.
And our eyes were burning.
Mm-hmm.
Our eyes are burning just from minimal exposure to the air there in the one of the areas that's cleaned up the best.
Yeah.
And
a lot of debris piled up, but it is, cleaned up into
oh
spaces.
yeah, that's another thing. This man here is going to tell you about how it got cleaned up to the level it did, and you'll be able to see the progress in some of these photos and videos, which won't look like much, but when you consider how it was done, you might say it's a lot.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's I don't know what was burning our eyes. I have no idea. There's no like active chemical factories or anything right there, so it's clearly something that's due to the disaster, and that's over a month after it happening, and it's like your eyeballs are still burning. It's got to be a bad sign.
Yeah, it doesn't generally happen.
No, and I mean, my eyes never do that. I can be in a room full of people like smoking, and
yeah, my eyes don't even burn when I'm like in River Rouge and stuff back in Michigan.
Yeah. So I mean, it's I really hope somebody does. I mean, I can look and see like in air, check the levels of things in the air or something, a test for that. Maybe I can find that. I'm enjoying going out there and finding things out for people, so maybe that'll be something worth looking into. It's got to be dangerous, but I just want to remind everybody to be careful out there. I want to remind people to push their local leaders. These people that pass the buck, and there's all the red tape and bureaucracy and all this kind of stuff, push them. What's the worst they're going to do to you?
Yeah.
Remember that, especially the ones that are elected, they depend on you. So if you push a little bit, you kind of got them by the balls. I mean, I'm just hearing a whole lot of things not being allowed to be done until you wait for an organization to come in that'll pay
inspection or this contract.
Right, even when somebody's offering to do it for free to help people, it's very upsetting. And if you're able to, you can contact us like I put in the last video I put up, as far as if you're trying to donate or something like that. We'll make sure that it's done properly. If that's money, if it's supplies, we can kind of help you to know what to send and where to send it. She's got a truck or two trucks coming.
Several different trucks actually. It was gonna be one tractor trailer, and now we're just doing multiple truckloads that different volunteers are bringing in. It's all coming from the Asheville Dream Center, which, if you don't know what that place is, I would give it a look. They're huge. I've worked with them before through the anti-trafficking community, and they're great people, and they are basically helping supply us with just about everything we need for survival.
Yeah, for this time of year. Yeah. Especially for the people up here that did make it in these howlers and stuff like that.
Yeah, and are living in tents. Or
right there in Swananoa. So. It's extremely cold. It's moist. It's just now, the air burns you. The dirt's dirty. It's like you need protection. You need to stay warm. You need to survive still. They're saying this is like kind of the next step in like rebuilding, but with some people,
phase 2 or whatever.
yeah, the economy's shot and everything was in their home.
Yeah.
Their home's gone and they're not getting anything for it. So I really feel for those people. I pray for them. I've been in that situation. I haven't been able to build myself up to a level to where when I'd lose it, anyone would go, "Oh my God, look at what he lost." But still, it's all relative based on where you're at.
Yeah, and you lose
it's
everything.
Painful.
You lose everything. You lose your home. You lose your home. It doesn't matter what that home was worth on the market. You just lost your home.
And people lost loved ones and everything too. So it's absolutely terrible. So keep the people of Western North Carolina and everywhere else affected by Helene in your prayers. We're not letting it die. We'll keep updating you. We'll throw this conversation up here. It would be a spot like this, where a minimum it was, at all times a foot deep here, but 0.15 rather than the 0.12 right above it, 0.14. How's it going? No, I'm checking the silt and ground for radiation.
Oh.
Yeah, I was told that it could be high here, but honestly, no, not bad at all. Out in Asheville, it's been high, and because a bunch of toxic waste supposedly.
I can't see.
Yeah, so I guess by the time I don't know, maybe by the time it came down here.
Side of the mountain. So.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's on the Eastern Continental Divide. We on this side, they on that side.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good thing.
So all of ours came basically from Mill Creek up this way. The only thing I'd say we pretty much got is 2 gas stations, probably some septic shit, back and stuff, human waste and all that.
That's the thing. I took a water sample. It'll take 48 hours, but all that is for bacteria, for like E. coli, stuff like that. So that'll tell me that. And I took one at our house. We're in Marion, and we're under a few feet of water there. So we're testing that. But we work with Garden Creek Baptist in Marion, and we got a bunch of water testing kits that are going to come in where you can test for chemicals too.
So did you get down there in the silt?
Yeah, just the silt, just the concrete stuff that sat underwater for a significant amount of time. And it ain't no different really than in my house. There's a couple spots that went up a few ticks, but nothing that's in a range.
How'd you make out down there?
Huh?
How'd you make out
in Marion?
Yeah, pretty good.
We're okay. Yeah, we're all right. We were blessed. The only thing we dealt with was we lost a lot of food, and we didn't know what we were dealing with as far as our house, because our house is at the bottom of the hill where everything dumps. And it was the only block that was closed off that we couldn't come back to after we got evacuated. So the police wouldn't even let me get back there to see if I still had a house. So 2 days later, I finally get back there and I'm like, oh, thank God. I thought we were without a home, so that was good. But man, we've seen some horrible shit.
There's my house right there.
Yours is destroyed?
That's all the insides of my house.
Damn.
All my belongings, all my walls, floors, windows.
Wow.
It went to the ceiling, man.
Really?
Okay.
Shit, so it got really deep.
We had to get rescued off the roof, and we all went to Hardee's. Everybody on this street got rescued and went to Hardee's, and it got all the way up to the sidewalk around Hardee's, and we had to break the lock off the ladder, and we thought we was going to climb up top.
No shit.
Yeah, man, it was pretty wild.
What the hell, it's a house, or what are you doing now?
Staying in the camper.
Damn, are you, does it look like you're going to get any kind of insurance, anything like that?
No, I didn't have no insurance. I got a little bit of FEMA money, but I've had some people helping out too. And,
that's cool. We've seen more.
It's great, man. I mean, it stinks that something bad happens like that, man. I treat people just like I talk to you every day, every time I meet somebody. Not ass, I don't care who you are, what you do.
Right.
You treat me cool and respectful, I treat you the same way, man.
That's right. And we seen stuff like we never seen before, where people were just coming together, cutting people out of houses, you know, risking their own life.
Yeah.
They didn't even know the people. We're from up north. We're from Detroit, and I'm gonna be honest.
I can tell, son. I know y'all ain't from here.
You wouldn't have seen the shit up there.
Up there, no.
You wouldn't have seen people helping like that.
I'm gonna tell you, hillbillies down here, mountain people, and I don't know how long y'all been here, but like North Carolina's big, but this is WNC. This is Western North Carolina, and it's way different. Like, I don't even talk country really, but my cousin, my brother, and all them, the way they talk, you go 20 miles, 30 miles down the road, and they don't talk. None of them talk like that. It's just hillbilly people. And hillbilly people are resourceful. And we was just all raised with morals, values, and respect around here, man. We treat everybody how we want to be treated, and we take care of, you know, our neighbors. We take care of elderly people. We take care of kids, you know, and especially people that can't help themselves. Like, you know, if your mama lived near me and you was somewhere else, you can bet your ass she wouldn't have to worry. If she needed her grass cut, if she needed whatever, we'd take care of her.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's really great. Yeah, we my grandmother's from Pikeville, Kentucky, right near West Virginia.
Oh yeah, I know what's that.
And she'd tell me stories that were a lot like this when they had these
disasters.
They
were the same, because they're all Appalachian hillbillies up there.
Yeah, so I'm like, I guess I'm home now. We love it.
So I own 2 houses at the bottom of the street, the last 2. And the one on the right was my great-grandmother's. It was here before I-40 came through. And they picked it up in 52 and moved it. And that house was built in 1905.
Oh, wow.
So I lost both those houses, actually.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Shit. Man, I'm sorry to hear.
And then I brought my cars, dude, and put them where that dump truck is. And they're all gone. Come out of Hardee's and it's gone. I found one of them. And one was an E39 M5. I don't know if you know anything about cars, but like... It's a BMW. No, it's a BMW. It's a BMW M5.
My boss up north in Michigan had a M4, I think.
Yeah, M4,
so a level below that, maybe.
Yeah. But
damn,
it's like it was a 2000, but it's still a $30,000-$40,000 car.
Still a nice car, man. Damn. Shit, I was out driving the next day just trying to get us food. I had to go all the way to Hickory. It ended up being a 6-hour trip. I was scared to death I was going to fry my damn car because it's a couple feet deep. But I'll tell you what, like you were saying, like when I was driving out there, every 50 yards there's a giant tree in the road. It's so dangerous.
Oh yeah, man, it's crazy.
On the way
Good old country boys out there, them chain towels, like my boy.
Dude, it was all gone when I came back. Smooth sailing right on the rock.
Even you pay attention, even when it ain't nothing like this, even wintertime or whatever, if tree falls in a storm, it's always them good old boys pull up in a damn truck and get that tree moved faster than waiting on everybody else to come.
Yeah.
And that's just the way people here are. They're just like, let's take action. Like this. Like the town hasn't done anything, dude.
Really?
Every bit of this, a friend of mine up there in Boston, after this happened, sent me a skid steer.
No shit.
And I've been using that. This dirt, every bit of this shit I put there. Every bit of it. The town hasn't done anything. So I'm doing mine. I'm doing my neighbor's house. Most of the people in the trailers just left and didn't come back. These 2 trailers that was right here, there they are over there. That one's that way, and then the other one, you can't see it.
Wow, they came from over here?
They were both right here up front.
Oh my God.
And them bitches are T-boned over there, and then the one all the way down, it went this way, and it's sitting behind my house over there. When you get off the exit, you can see it sitting in my ditch.
Man, that is insane. Yeah, this thing is like something nobody's ever seen, man.
Dude, when I was 7 years old, it flooded. When I was down there, I was at my grandmother's, and it came up, you know, like a foot from the door.
Yeah.
You know, and we thought, oh, hell, that's a big deal.
Right. But it's a little different.
This shit happened so quick.
I keep trying to tell people, like, we have a podcast.
People say to me,
and people say, why didn't they get out? I'm like, dude, nobody had a fucking warning. And if they did, where were they going to go?
Well,
you know what I'm saying? There's one road in, one road out sometimes.
You're born and raised here, and you get a little rain, a little whatever. You're like, all right, you know, I'm used to this shit. Yeah, they say this all the time.
Yeah.
But I'll just show you how quick the time lapse was. All right, so I brought them cars and put them up there, and I got one motorcycle up to the library. I rode up. Now I'm walking back. 8:49, right? That's this road. We're walking straight down.
Yeah.
849, 943. That's my house down there. I'm
Holy
on top
shit.
of the fucking roof. Less than 50
Wow.
minutes, man.
Shit.
And this ain't even.
Looks like in a fucking Amazon.
When I was done, I was on my red truck on the top, knee deep. It was all the way up, halfway up that window.
Damn.
And then this house, my house here in Singno, all the way to the roof.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah, man.
Man, I should have you send me that for
And-
one of our videos,
And
dude.
that's how quick. Less than 50 minutes, man. From walking to just getting your feet wet. To then
Right,
up to
right.
here.
Well, that's what I told people. I said, they told us to evacuate over there, and when we left, it was a couple inches of water in our creek down there.
Yeah.
We're down on Garden Creek Road. We're down there. The big lots and all that shit was under like 6
Yeah.
foot of water. We're right by that. And I said, they're overreacting. I wasn't even going to leave. But she had a cousin across town. I was like, all right, fuck it, we'll go over there. Dude, by the time we got over there, I heard, what it was, and it was 3-4 feet. It went from an inch or two to 3-4 feet,
Oh, yeah.
overflowing the dam. We do a podcast, man, and I'm putting all this stuff together where people are telling their stories,
Yeah.
and I'm testing the water, and I'm
You write your shit on.
yeah, man. Like, I'll give you my email address, dude. If you want to send me a video or something, dude, that's amazing right there. I'd put that in there, no doubt. We got a lot of attention on it by accident. I was commenting on a big channel, True Stream Media's thing,
Yeah.
and they went to my channel and saw a 2.5-hour interview we did with one of our volunteers, and they used pieces of it in their documentary.
Oh, no shit.
So next thing you know, I said, hey, you guys used it, I ain't mad at you,
Right.
And so what they did was they went ahead, they did a comment and pinned it where they said, these guys' podcast is like criminally underrated, go follow them. And dude, in, 5 hours time, we had 40 new subscribers,
Oh,
just from
shit.
that little comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, and I was
That's
like,
good.
we promised to keep this thing going for a year, meaning people's stories,
Yeah.
images, just everything for a year, because we felt it's underreported. We
Oh,
feel like
I'm
they're
with you,
lying
man.
about
I'm with you, and then it's like everybody runs to Asheville. And it's like, shit, man.
is
Old
Ash,
Fort
that's
got
all you
hammered
heard.
down, man, and it's like they just drive right by, nobody even cares or gives a shit. I mean, look, me,
Her parents are in Old Fort.
listen, me at the end, and my homeboy John at the end behind Hardy's over there, we're the only people on this side of town right now.
That's it.
That's it, bro.
It's just y'all
Everybody
left.
left, man. They all left. Ain't nobody been here since the storm.
Well, I mean, shit like these are destroyed.
I get it. but
That
like,
one's got a condemned sticker or some shit on it.
Yellow, all the yellow means is it's unsafe to live in. The red tag on the house means it's unsafe to work in and live in, which means, here's the
You
difference.
can't clean it up.
You're with God's Pit Crew, right?
That's my email, and that's our YouTube channel.
All right. I'm
It's Mike.
nice to meet you.
And
That's
she's
yours.
Danielle.
That's your family.
Oh, that's right.
So the yellow one's basically like if God's Pit Crew wanted to come muck your house out,
yeah.
they can go in that one. If it's got a red sticker, they can't go because the state's just saying it's unsafe. Whether it was like one of those pillars fell off the front porch or the floor doesn't look good, that's all it is. It's not a demo mark or nothing.
See, what we're hearing is that the depends on where you are. It's just very dangerous to play around with and muck these houses out with the silt. I'll tell you what.
I dipped both of mine. We did them like quick, man. They're both of my houses down to rafters and floor joists, and that's it.
Damn. See, up in Burnsville, my doctor's up there, and she said that they have a fucking green glow over the water in the morning. That it looks like soap bubbles in the water.
Well,
it's
up there,
dangerous as hell up there.
I forgot what mine's up there. I don't know if it's quarry mine or whatever.
It's
This
the quartz.
Yeah, the quartz mine. So it could be some of that shit that runs off of that.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think that there's something here where they're trying to take people's land?
Do you believe that?
I do. I
Hey,
think there's
man,
something to it.
I'll sell you a half an acre of prime fucking lithium land right there. Then you want to buy it?
Are you on it?
I'm on it. You want to buy it? I'll
Not
sell
me. I
it
ain't got
to
the
you
money for
$1 million,
that, but I would.
man.
But I'll tell you what,
I don't believe them. Look, man, they got all them some bitches all corrupt anyway. All of them, man.
That's what makes me think. I'll
I
tell
was
you
in the Marine
what.
Corps for 12 years, man, so I know how they work. They play you, they toy you, they use you, and then when they're done with you, they
That's
just
right.
get on rid of you.
That's damn right.
And then they don't care nothing about you.
Well,
But
I'll tell you,
to give them some props, though, they did give me a camper to stay in. The VA did.
they did. The
Yeah,
VA
the
did.
VA did.
So it wasn't FEMA or nothing.
FEMA gave me money.
They give you a lot of money, or they just gave you?
They didn't give me a lot of money. They gave me like 40 grand.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
That's better than I've heard from anybody, honestly.
A lot of people probably won't tell you the honest truth.
But
I'm
it's
just
two
telling you.
properties, right?
I'm not an ass, and I didn't claim both. You can't do that. You know what I mean? Because here's what they're going to say anyway. If I claim both, they're going to say, well, that was your secondary. Where was your primary residence? And that's only fair. Do you know what I'm saying? It really is. So
that's true.
I did my primary, and, you know, here's the other thing. I didn't have no flood insurance and no insurance, so maybe that's why I got the money. Some people with insurance, maybe they're not giving them as much. I don't know.
That makes sense. That would actually make sense.
But I'm just telling you honestly, and everybody that's been here from FEMA for us, have been straight up, man. They straight. That lady was here second day. We got that first 750 like 4 days after, and then we got that other money within 10 days after the storm.
I will say they've caused some problems out here for the people, the good old boys that were out there trying to work. They were stopping them from doing what they're doing.
I've heard that, but I've heard that.
I've seen them close down donation centers. So out there,
I
like
just
White
blow
House.
them off, man. Like, nah, man, y'all leave. We're donating and we're doing what
Now,
we're doing.
see, the thing is, they can do that if it's like, say, a volunteer fire department, something like that. But if it's a church, they can't.
Right.
So we were out in a White House, and one of them, FEMA came there, forced them. They took all their supplies and took it to a central location.
Yeah.
They shut down another one there in, was it Lake Lure?
Yeah.
And there was one there, though, that was like, we ain't going nowhere. It's a big Baptist church. They were like, fuck you to FEMA. And I was like, that's what's up.
I don't blame them, man.
Because what it is, man, is like nobody had cars there. The houses are sometimes a couple miles from each other, White House. So these people don't have no way of knowing that you took the supplies and moved them to some weird place 20 miles away.
Exactly.
So that could fucking kill people. So I was like, yeah, they're fucking up there. I mean, the response was slow. It took a damn week for anybody to show up out there. And then there were
I mean, they didn't show up here for probably like FEMA people for about 3 weeks.
Did you have any of the National Guard guys offer to help clear anything or none of that shit?
Those lazy fucking bastards. They suck, dude. You know how bad they suck? First of all, look, man, you do nothing but... Look, if your shit breaks down when you're driving from Charlotte to here, and you know what I mean? I bet I've seen 5 different vehicles broken down. And here's the thing, you're not on enemy territory. Leave the thing and keep going. You're going to help people. Yes, man. And they're standing on the side of the road. Everybody in the convoy's out leaning on the truck, smoking and joking, watching traffic go by. And it's like, in the Marine Corps, man, you had 2 mechanics at least, and either they fixed it or you hooked it up to a tow thing, and within 5 minutes you're out of there.
Man, I'm just cracking up.
But they came up here. They came up here, man, and they were running the supply thing, and there's a whole bunch of them, and that's all they do. Then they go up there and use all the hot water in the showers, while all the town people. But no, they did not pick up anything. There's about 6 firefighters sitting up there that sat on the fire truck swinging their feet. They watched me and a couple of my homeboard Marines unload a whole case of water for the Davis Country Store. I mean, a whole trailer load of water, and
they just stood there.
Yeah, and these young kids came by, and I was like, hey man, y'all want to help us out? Yes, sir. These young teenagers came and helped us.
Yeah. Wow, that's kind of what I heard from people.
Then the other day, I had these old boys come down from Pennsylvania. This guy, he just showed up. He had this Amish dude with him. He's like, hey, look. And he had right on his truck, he's a demo guy, right? That's his company. So he's like, I want to find a community and make an impact. And he goes, and Old Fort's small enough that we can do that. He goes, So I take him uptown, introduce him to the people. He's like, you guys give me 5 days, I'll clean it. I'll get all this stuff on all these streets. I'll take them, I'll dump them. While I'm dumping, my buddy's loading the other one to come, boom, boom, boom. Well, I don't know, we better wait on FEMA. I'm like, how much are you charging? He goes, honey, God sent me down here to do this. I don't want your money. And then Well, we can't pay the tipping fees. He goes, well, the Cajun Navy, that's who I'm working under right now. They'll pay it. They'll pay the tipping fees. Well, you're going to be a municipality. He goes, okay, put me on the books 5 days. I'll be a contractor, $1 a day, and done.
Yeah.
Well, we better wait on FEMA. He goes, how long you gonna wait on FEMA? He goes, I work Katrina, man. Do you know how this works? Like, blah, blah, blah. And they just like blew him off. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, Renee.
This guy's just
And like,
here
I know
trying
these
to
people.
help.
I know all these people my whole life. I'm like, Renee, like, he's trying to do something. You know what I mean? He
That's
felt the
insanity, man.
meaning for him and his guy to come down here. Well, they blew him off. He comes back to my house at like 2 o'clock, right? He goes, hey man, I'm gonna help you out a little bit. And so I'd ripped out all the house, all the trash was outside. I'm trying to push it around the skid steer. Him and the Amish dude get out, they load it up. This dude takes it right up there and dumps it right in front of the school. See that?
No shit.
Yeah, dude, he did it twice. And I was like, hey, he goes, well, FEMA's coming, right?
Yeah, they'll take care
And he
of
goes,
it.
and the funniest part is those guys that had cleaned the parking lot with the backhoe and all, right where the dump truck is, they had a trailer, and they're sitting there too, and they watch him come up and watch him back up, and you could see him like,
That's great.
and he
dude.
told me, he's like, he goes, if it wasn't for you, I would have dumped it right on town hall. I was like, I go, well, it's my trash, man, and if, you know.
I'll tell you what, man. I just hate the red tape.
I do
hate the
too, and that's what me and
bureaucracy.
him was trying to tell
And
her,
all it
like,
means is that people are trying to get their hand in the jar.
and you know what I said, and you know what I said? I said the only reason y'all holding up is because there must be some money involved, and then you want your cousin and
Yeah.
your cousin's cousin to clean it up.
That's right.
what it is.
Yep, they're gonna.
And
give
then
it
they
to
just
somebody
look
they
at me,
know.
right? And it's like, that's
They
what
ain't
y'all
denying
doing.
it.
Because that dude from Pennsylvania goes, do you think this man wants to drive down his street every day and see his home at the end of his street? Like,
Right.
it's already bad enough, and he drives by, and it's like, well, there's my couch, there's my fridge,
Man, I'll tell you what.
and they ain't done. Dude, they ain't even been down here. I asked him to come down here, and I was like, hey, you think you can bring the fire trucks and a sweeper on a loader and just maybe hit the roads? They did the main drag.
But they ain't do none of
Nope.
the side
So I
streets.
took the skid steer, I drove around, I found me a fire hose or two, and I took it down to my street, and I took me a damn pipe wrench and opened the fire hose, and I was, somebody's like, hey, somebody's getting off the exit. I'm like, I don't care, they can come down here.
It's like,
I'll
dude,
say, hey,
it's a-
I've asked you to do it, you didn't do it, so I'm trying to make myself somewhat livable.
Right.
And I will give your hose back when I'm done with it.
Ain't hurting nobody. Shit. But shit, man, if you want to send me a video, I'll put it together.
Yeah, I'll
I've
send
been
it to
putting
you.
together, just basically we want to keep the story alive. We feel like it's underreported. We feel like they're lying about a lot of things. We want everybody to be able to tell their story, and our volunteers and all that kind of shit. And it's been getting, a lot of supplies that come in and all that.
I mean-
She works with NC Stop, an anti-trafficking thing, and they're bringing in an 18-wheeler on the 7th that's full of like personal like masks, like all that's. It's kind of like the second step. Like they're saying, this is step 2 or whatever, but it's true. People are getting themselves
Well, it's
sick.
like you said, like, and even right now, today, man, they pulled the showers and the laundry out. And I went uptown, I'm like, oh, I asked you guys for 3 days, who's in charge of that? Because I was asking to get it extended. Because
Yeah.
you're working this all day, man. I need to go up there and shower and stuff. So the town kept saying, oh, we don't know. And then all of a sudden, when the county's there today, they knew. Like, and then I'm like, I go, well, I asked y'all 3 days in a row, man. Y'all said y'all didn't know. This man said y'all knew. Like, I call them right in front of it. And then they don't, I don't care that they get mad about it.
Ain't
I
nothing
told
but
'em,
people, man.
I
You know
said,
what I'm
hey,
saying?
look, man, you're in a position that you got elected and a leader. I said, I expect when something like this goes down, man, you're the boss, man.
Right.
Hey, man, whether it's you or the people you surround yourself with, but somebody needs to tell us what's going on.
Right.
Even if you come out, hey guys, look, I know everybody's been impacted. I want you all to know I'm going to work with you. I don't care if you walk down here or drive down here one time.
Yeah. Just
I ain't suntown, you can't come see two
at
people.
least pretend to give a shit.
That's what I mean.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, that's all I asked about, even from the so-called president right now. I said, he could have pretended to give a shit. I would be
that
happy
whole
with that.
thing is just, that's
It's a fucking
ridiculous.
joke, dude.
Like even the he don't even know where he's at. And then,
Right.
and then you don't even give the other team a chance to pick their player. They get, oh, here's going to be your player.
Right. And they picked the wrong one.
Oh,
It's a terrible, like that. Just
look,
like
man,
with
that
Hillary,
whole-
nobody likes her,
just
man.
the whole agenda, on that, the whole thing, like shoving stuff down people's throats and like this stuff in schools and like, I don't care what people think. Like, kids need to be kids. And
That's
stay
part of
kids
why
as
we
long
moved
as they
out of
need to be
Michigan. It
kids,
was getting
man.
all woke and shit up there.
That's all. Yeah,
And I was
man.
like, dude, we gotta get.
There's a lot of them here, man.
And tell me why it fails where they're at, so then they bring it here and expect it to
Let me
work.
tell you. So,
why wouldn't you just be happy
Me
that it's
and
better?
me
It's
and
better.
this old boy, I'll let you. There's a guy up here that has coffee, right? It's a coffee place, and
Yeah, I just seen that. Yeah.
So, long story short, like, I'm born and raised here, man. My mama, grandmother, and all them. So, like, when I see this hip stuff coming in and shit, it's like I know the community here, and people here can't afford a $5 coffee and a $6 scone and a fucking, do you know what I'm saying, right? You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So, I just chose not to go there. Well, my friends were here from Israel. Well, they live here, but they're from Israel, born and raised. They wanted coffee. Hardee's was closed. So we want real coffee. So I was like, I'll take you up to this place. And my friend's like, you're not coming in? I'm like, nah, man, I'll sit out here. He's like, why? I was like, oh, I'm good, man. I'll sit out here. Well, they're like taking forever. So I peep in, and he's like, oh, calls me in. So anyway, I start talking to the guy, and the guy's saying something. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's a welcoming space. It's for everyone, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, where are you from? And he's like, guess. I go, I fucking guess. Okay, where?
San Fran?
Yeah. My friend Tom, first thing, California. You're from California. You're from California. No. And then I guessed like two places. And then he's like, he's like, no. And then finally, he says, it came from San Francisco.
No shit.
He was born somewhere else, but he came from San Francisco. And so anyway, I said, all right, man. And he asked me what I thought about it. I said, look, me personally, I don't like it, but hey, you opened your business, it's America, good on you, man.
Hey, make it,
maybe hope it works.
make it pop off.
I
Cool.
said, but, I said, you said it's open to everybody, right? And he's like, yeah. And I said, all right. You know where you're at? And he's like, what? I go, if I came in here with a rebel shirt on, a rebel flag shirt, this so much is like, oh, whoa. I go, what? He goes, that's racist. I go, right there, son.
Now, see,
Know
you ain't
where
read
you're
a
at.
history book.
I said, no. Well, I said, regardless of that, know where you're at. I said, you got a gay sticker up front, right? And then you're going to bash the rebel flag and tell me that it's racist, this, and that. You don't even know about
You
that.
just showed
I
the
said,
side.
and what I'm trying to tell you is you're in rebel country and God country.
Right.
So what you got up front, if I was you, just saying if I was you, I'd probably throw one of them old American flags up there. Because I said that right there, it includes all of us together. And when you put that one you got up there, you're separating yourself from everybody else.
Damn right.
So just like that rebel flag, if it was on that front door, you would probably choose not to come in there.
Right.
Well, when you got that flag up there, there's a lot of old boys around here that would not come in there. And if they see you out,
You might have saved his business.
No, it's still on. It is still on there.
Don't
You know what he
surprise
told me? You've got to leave. I can't make coffee. You've got me. Oh my God.
You're kidding.
I swear to you.
Holy shit.
Then, listen. Then guess what I find out? I find out he didn't even. This son of a bitch GoFunded me. He did a GoFundMe to start his coffee business.
Really?
Yes. So there's all these liberals that live here paid to get his shit going.
So he
Now,
ain't even
listen,
a real
here's
business.
another one. So just recently, a couple of these businesses did a GoFundMe for save the local Old Fort businesses, right? So tonight there was a little town meeting. I seen him out there. I was like, hey man, you remember me? He's like, I go, we got off to a wrong start. You thought I was some racist bigot son of a bitch, but I'm not. And he was like, oh, I remember you. And I said, hey, didn't y'all do a fundraiser like for all the businesses in town? I was like, man, that was great. I can't believe that was awesome. He's like, yeah, he's awesome. I was like, but I didn't see Sheehan's auction house and this one on there. And they both got flooded. Your coffee shop didn't get no damage, but you got $5,000.
Damn.
Hey, you know what? Do you know Alyssa so-and-so? She's right there. She set it up.
Oh my God. Jesus, man.
That's the kind of
I
stuff,
don't wanna
man.
see that
And
kind of
me
shit.
either.
Yeah.
She's like, let's go.
I'm learning a bit about Old Fort. Her parents live in Old Fort, but they're like.
But that's just kind of some of the
Wow,
stuff.
that's
man.
interesting.
Not that it was him that gave the money out, but my point to him was that you held out on a friend of mine that got flooded because you guys don't like him,
Right.
because he's kind of like us in a way, you know. He speaks his mind.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want a fancy coffee, it's good. Go to Chance of Sprinkles in Marion, dude, because they put the protein in it. Like, it's next to the gym.
Yeah.
So you can, man, they got amazing shit there. So if you pay $5 for something there, dude, it's got fucking ice cream in it and everything.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it's people from here that own it.
Well,
so.
see, them old boys can go to Hardee's and get them a free coffee, right?
Yeah,
89 cents.
Oh yeah. Well, they're gonna open up again, or tomorrow, I guess.
They open today.
The ones that were we just gave them some blankets and shit, sleeping bags. The women that were out there said that corporate's making them leave, so they got to go find somewhere else to get stuff out of. Yeah, it would, but
It ain't hurting it. Them making up stuff.
right. Hey, it's nice
y'all
meeting
be
you, man.
safe. Yeah, you
Yeah,
too,
send me
man.
that video. I put it together with some other ones. I think you'll be surprised with who gets, how many get to see it. Thank you, man.
Sorry, I'm Danielle. I'm just going through videos on my phone at the moment.
You too, man.